All right, let's talk about Open Pendragon. So this is our very first episode. Pendragon is a game originally created by the late great Greg Stafford, who had his hand in a whole bunch of old school games like Call of Cthulhu, creator of Rune Quest. I think the old West End games, Star Wars D6 tabletop RPG, is a really good, really great veteran. But I think he always considered Pendragon his magnum opus. Not because it was the most popular, but because it was the most complete game from his perspective, if I recall correctly. And I am recently learning that it's quickly becoming one of mine as well. Uh, so tonight, we're going to be following a couple of newer knights as per Open Pendragon's format. The game will follow along with the years of my stream. I'll be running like about 2 to 6 episodes per month. The goal is just to let people who are either fans of the stream or just wanting to learn Pendragon to jump in and play in our world, in our sandbox, and to tell some stories around Logris and England proper, maybe beyond sometimes, that aren't happening on the screen in my main game. So the game will be primarily drop-in, so people can play one time and never play again, or they can join the community and be a regular participant. We'll see what people want to do as they get exposed to the game. There's no requirement or buy-in aside from building a player character. So we don't have to dive too much into the introductions here, but Z, do you want to just shout off as your character right now? Who's your character?
Uh, sh- sure. So I'm playing. What is his name? Sir Chelistus, who is a mercenary knight of Gallo-Roman descent, who has lived most of his life somewhere within Logres. His parents are. His father is from France, well, Roman France, well, Gaul basically, and his mother is from Tribute, and he was partially raised over there. And during the time when Tribute is kind of hidden in the forest, so he grew up with some rather strange experience. But he has since his maturity and the death of his father, he has come re-emerged and trying to make his way in this budding kingdom as a mercenary.
Perfect. So he is a mercenary
Yeah.
knight, right?
Yes.
And then I know, Ember, you haven't had the time to do a full look into the settings, so don't feel intimidated to jump in. But do you want to tell us a tiny bit about your character?
Thanks. Yeah, I'm a knight mercenary. I don't have a big background, but I used to I live up on battlefield a lot, so it's part of my life. My name is Albert, and I'm probably I don't know a lot of people in Londres, but all my family is from Toulouse and Aquitaine. I'm yeah.
That's great. Okay. Why don't I start with? I realize we didn't give you a start in glory, so we'll do that in a second for you, because that will be an important part. Well, we'll see. If you want to continue playing, I think we can figure out your glory from there. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have that either.
Yeah, that's okay. We gotta log what kind of glory you get today, because that can have direct effects on your character. But we'll start. We don't have a ton of time tonight, so this will be a rather short session. But we're gonna do what we can with it. So first and foremost, let me give you a lay of the land in Logris right now. So for those not super familiar with the background of Pendragon, about 80 years ago now, I think it was, the England as an island in general was being just swarmed with raiders. They had raiders from Ireland plaguing the west coast, Saxons plaguing the East Coast, and Picts from the North plaguing the North. Without any really strong means of defending themselves, they reached out to Rome because they're a Roman satellite at this point. This is just before the fall of it. And they said, we need help. Please send help. And Rome came back, and their answer was, look inward for your defense. So from that point forward, in this Arthurian game that we're playing, the first knights were born, and England from that point forward no longer considered itself Roman. And the Cymric culture as like a concept was mostly solidified. So passing into more recent years, the only time that matters for you folks, after a bit of a what's called the sorry, I'm fumbling over my words a little bit here. There was King Vortigern for a while, who was kind of seen as a bit of a betrayer king in many ways. He was finally ousted by King Aurelius Ambrosius. He only lived a few years before he fell to the Saxons. His brother, King Uther, took his spot. So this is King Uther Pendragon. Uther has a son. Son is Prince Madoc. There's a bastard son, but he's recognized. They are based predominantly out of Thamesmouth, which is London area, basically. As far as the island and its current plagues on the East Coast, the worst part of it right now is the Saxons. Like that, there's no two buts about that. So the Saxons have conquered these areas in yellow, so Kent and South Seax. They've also conquered Nohot in Dira to the north. And then most recently, as in the last year, the county of Caercolin on the Saxon shore was claimed. So this puts London in a precarious position. You find yourselves in the county of Huntland. You've been picking up mercenary jobs, probably participating in the recent battles and raids against the Saxons. Huntland has been relatively safe. There's been no sight of any advancements out of Caercolin, so the Saxons seem to be held at bay, at least for now. You find yourselves in a place called Humble Creek. So we'll go to a feast at Humble Creek. Can I get you two to kindly drop your tokens down? You can just drag and drop. Perfect. All right, guys. So before we do anything more, we need to kind of figure out where you're seated. So feasts in this game are kind of a little mini game mechanic, I guess is what I'm looking for. So to figure out where you need to be seated, you're gonna make app rolls appearance on your sheet.
What rolls?
App.
App, okay.
Yeah. You make app rolls, and then there's a little chart you can see below that shows you where you sit according to how you roll here.
Nice.
There's no way we would be at the table, the long table, or whatever it's called, right? The master table.
It's possible you could sit above the salt, which would be about as close as you can get to the high table. You'd be like the guest of honor kind of thing. Very unlikely for mercenary knights, but you never know. Critical situation could happen, so we'll make sense of that if we have to.
Yeah.
What's crit, by the way? Was it
a critical?
Crit is a 1 or something?
No, a critical is always, so if you have a number, like let's say your skill is a 14 or your stats a 14, then a 14 is a critical.
I see. Okay.
Alternatively, if you have if you have a high enough score, let's say you have a 20 and then you have a bonus of +5, a critical would be any time it's 20 or greater.
Okay.
If you roll a 20 when you don't have a skill as high as a 20, that's always a fumble. So the good news
I
is
see.
like if you get to a 20 in something, you never you
Fumble.
get to you never fumble basically on that unless
Cool.
there's some kind of negative.
All right.
So if I
Do you just click on. There's no mod.
There is no mod.
Okay. All right. Hey.
There you go.
Perfect.
And then Hellbirth. Perfect.
Good.
Right, you both succeed. So we have one above the salt, oddly enough.
yeah,
I'll think of that in a second. And then near the salt. So you're apparently not seen as low here. Now, granted, this isn't a gigantic feast. I'm not talking a royal feast of any sort. This is actually probably the Easter feast of the year 486. So it's a local feast.
486. Mm-hmm.
I think the reason maybe Sir Callistus has been given a seat above the salt is you recently had fought side by side with Sir Every. He at this point he isn't actually the heir to the Humble Creek Manor. He is the acting vassal lord, but he reports up to a banneret knight named Sir Jareth.
Okay. Wait. Let me see. So this is the host. Every. How do you say his name?
Yeah, Every.
Every.
Yeah.
Every's the host, but his liege is Jareth.
Exactly. So Jareth is here taking the high seat. So that's something you wouldn't know, except for you know it because you know Every. So you know Every is for some reason given up his high seat. Must be his liege lord. For Hellbirth, why don't you give me just a starting intrigue roll, because we'll see if you know anything yet about your situation.
so I roll.
Yes, go to your skills and look for intrigue, and then go ahead and roll that. Alternatively, if you have a higher law skill, you can roll law instead.
Perfect. I'm gonna try to find it. Intrigue. I think my intrigue is pretty low.
Yeah, they're usually pretty low. There's a lot of things where you're well under 50% in this game.
Intrigue.
Okay. No luck. I think you're coming into this situation fairly unknown.
Yeah, I'm fairly new.
Yeah, you're fairly new. You see that one of the twins here actually has a baby as well. No sign of she's not sitting with a father of any sort. I'd say that's the best you get out of that scenario. It looks like predominantly the actual retinue of the actual entourage of this cast or of this manor, Humble Creek Manor, and potentially some others who you're not aware of. So the Humble Creek shield, you recognize the banner from outside. It's this the fish with the river on it, and they seem to have offered their high seat up to someone else who you're not familiar with.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna dive into it. So we'll start with Callistus. You can actually give your seat up if you want. If you try to give your seat up and you're successful at the roll, you'll be able to continue to pull cards. So cards are. Let me just give you a quick example of what cards are. So if you're above the salt, you can't pull cards. But you get more glory for being there. So if you opt to try to get your seat down to near the salt, you get a little reward for it, and then that will allow you to draw cards. Would you like to stay above the salt, or would you like to come down?
So if I stay above the salt, I get more glory, but I don't do anything.
You can still take intrigue actions, and you can game, you can flirt, you can indulge, but you can't card. You can't do the fancy cards. So
Okay. Is this permanent? Like if I give,
just for
can I?
it's for this 2-round feast.
So what I mean is, within this feast, can I give it up later, or?
No, it has to be now. It's possible you pull a card that forces you to pull it. To give it up later.
Wait, but I thought you don't pull cards. If
Oh,
you're
right.
above the salt.
Correct. Yeah. So you won't be able to do that anyway. So you won't lose your spot. You'll be there unless you opt to pull it down.
So what kind of test do I have to do to give up the seats?
Sure. So ceding your position, characters may voluntarily cede their position to a lower area if they prefer to sit with their comrades or don't want to sit at the high table. To do so, it requires a modest roll. On a success, check the trait and gain 10 glory, or 20 glory with a critical success. Then move your seat a lower spot. Failure, though, means you intended to move but it can't be arranged. A fumble roll indicates that an attempt at humility comes across as disingenuous or cynical. So basically, it's a pretty safe bet as long as you don't critically fail the roll. If you critically fail the roll, you lose a point of honor on your sheet.
Okay. I think I might stay up here. You said I can flirt.
Yep.
And do intrigue with people up here.
Yep, correct.
Yeah, I'll just hang out with the VIPs.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so we always start with the rounds starting with the person above the salt. So with that in mind, why don't you go ahead and maybe think about what you might want to do. So your options, I can give them to you again. Let me see if there's a nice clean table for it. There's game, there's indulge, so you can test like indulgence or temperance, depending on which way you want to take it. You can flirt, or you can gossip, which is like an intrigue action.
I'd like to, whatever is closest to befriending Sir Jareth.
Okay. You want to what, Sir Jareth? I just want to make sure I understood what your intention was.
Befriend.
Okay.
Yep.
Why don't you maybe elaborate on that for me? How would you approach this?
I'm trying to. Well, I would recount the battle I shared with Sir Avery to kind of wow Sir Jareth, maybe.
Okay, so you're looking to kind of boast a little bit. Is that
sure?
Yeah. Why don't it's an interesting take. Why don't you give me an intrigue roll first off? You need to see. So your there's something called geniality, and that converts to glory later. Your geniality at the end of this round will be 2, because you're above the salt. But for now, you don't get geniality. Geniality in a feast makes you better at feasting. Almost anything social, you get to apply your geniality to. So right now, even though you can apply your geniality, you can make an intrigue roll. If you're really worried about succeeding, one thing you can do is you can test one of your passions. You can make yourself impassioned. If you succeed at it, you get a +5 to your skills for the rest of this feast.
That's alright. Just keep it simple for now. Intrigue, right? Okay. No mod?
No mod. Okay.
Success.
Yeah.
All right. So you're maybe boasting about position in battle that you took. So the battle, well, it didn't work out necessarily in your favor. Caracolin fell. I think you still made a name for yourself and you held or you took a ransom on one of the Saxons. So it was a name of Saxon. And you catch the attention of Every and Jareth. Every was with you, but Jareth turns and says, this is one you were telling me about, Sir Every.
Yes. Well, if it wasn't for Sir Every, our fate would have been much grimmer. But I'm proud to fall by his side.
Every gives you a smile and a nod in turn, and then Jazz says, "Yes, Every is a very loyal and honorable knight. Uh, it seems that you take good company, Sir Every." He smiles and offers a nod, kind of notices Sir Callistus. With that, Callistus, is there anything else you wanted, like any key note that you wanted to make there? Or anything in particular?
If do you mean more flavor wise or?
Yeah, any flavor piece you wanted to add there? Or
Sure, I will kind of see how Lady Lila reacts,
okay.
whether she pays attention to us at all.
She smiles at first, but you can tell your intrigue's high enough. Once they start talking about war, there's a worry on her face.
Okay.
Something certainly on her mind,
fine,
and it seems okay. Perfect. So you will get +2 geniality. So okay, this is.
Is there somewhere I should note that, or just anywhere?
Anywhere on your sheet. Yeah.
Okay.
That'll convert to glory. You want to track your glory because it can make you stronger in this game.
Okay.
Also, on your sheet, there's check boxes next to each of the skills. You can check box intrigue because you succeeded at it.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna go to Halberth's first round. Halberth, you can do all the things I mentioned before, but you can also grab from the feast deck if you want. You grab one card from the feast deck.
I think I would grab. I would start with grabbing one card with a feast deck.
Okay.
Because I think I cannot do like go direct to Sir Jared because I'm fairly new. So I think I'd like to do work my way up.
Perfect.
So I think I just select the deck.
Yeah, you just grab one card off the deck. I'll help you resize it after you do. Perfect. I'll help you out.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, weird.
I try to take mine out. I don't know what to do.
It pulled the same one. I shuffled it 3 times.
Yeah, I removed mine.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, I think it's a nice one. I took too.
Interesting. A famous knight from outside the area assumes, I guess, you're from the area, which you're not, and asks you if you would introduce him to some guests.
Does it mean I can introduce him to Sir Arvid, to the host?
It means that you're effectively trying to introduce him to somebody local. I think the challenge is you don't necessarily know someone local. So, what is your recognized score right now?
My recognized score, I think. It's 3.
Great. So that's pretty low. That's only a 3 out of 20 chance. You can test something like your hospitality, or like if you want to impassion yourself, you can trigger your passion. That would give you a better shot at succeeding. It's only bad on a fumble. Would you like to impassion yourself to get a +5 bonus?
I think I would like in that situation.
Okay. So I think you have to figure out which appropriate inspiration you're aiming for. Hospitality would work, so would honor, I think.
I try to be really use courtesy and try to be really like tempered and modest, but I would like to be able to be bold too, like you fake like you knowing everybody, but you don't know them.
Right. I get what you're saying. Maybe it's more a hint to your honor then. So why don't you test me, or why don't you roll your honor if you want to impassion yourself with honor?
Yeah, I'm gonna try that. trying to find it on the sheet.
Honor, it's the bottom left-hand side of your sheet there. Should see it.
I get it. Thanks.
Perfect. Okay, so you are impassioned with honor. It's going to give you a plus 5. So you're activating honor during this feast. That means you exude honor. You're going to struggle in the rest of this feast to do anything not honor-like, right? Now that you're impassioned.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, you can give me your recognize roll. I'll give you a +2 bonus just in general because you've been in Huntland for a while, and then you can add a +5 on top of that. So your modifier will be a 7.
Perfect. Oh.
Why don't you try again and add the modifier? I won't count that roll.
For the two-headed, I was too quick.
Okay.
It's
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're able to introduce him. Who do you think you might recognize? I'll leave this open to you. Sandbox it a little bit. Your options are either probably the twins, Every, or Cadford.
I would go with Carfriend because he looks like a grizzly old veteran.
Yeah, you bet.
And since my guy is from a lot of battlefield, he may have maybe heard some story, or like it's more because it's more easy to associate with him.
Yeah, and you notice a nasty battle scar on his neck too. Looks like he took a deep cut. Maybe that makes him a little more noticeable.
Yeah.
So I don't have the name of that knight. Give me a sec here. You can recall these people if you happen to ever play again. These things could come up potentially. Let me
I'll try to keep all the notes.
Yeah, well, it'll be recorded too, so if you ever need to do a quick review, sometimes I do that when I forget to take a note.
Yeah, that's the best. Okay. But I think it's a nice setting that they're looking for fighters, and I'm a fighter and introducing another fighter.
Indeed. So random Kimric Knight. His name is Sir Dinan. Is the guy you're introducing Cadford to? Sir Dinan of...
Oh, you have a generator? Nice.
Pendragon County. Yeah, I thought I moved it over, but the script, I forgot the macros don't cut over automatically, so it didn't work. I had to do it in my other server, but that's okay. All right, so Sir Dinan of Pendragon County. He is who you're introducing as Sir Cadford. Cadford looks impressed that you knew him. He says, Mercenary Knight, you must forgive me, but I don't recognize you directly. Where do I know you from?
I would tell from a recent battle. I would say I heard you from people I work with.
Over in Kerkolan, was it? I see.
Exactly.
Well, anyone who fights against the Saxons is a friend of mine. He smiles.
Yeah, I hate those bastards.
Okay, so you did succeed, so you get +1 geniality. So your geniality for the round is going to be 3. So Sir Halberth, round 1, geniality 3. Okay, so that's round 1. We're going to tuck this to the side just to remember the card. And then we're going to go to round 2 of 2 for Callistus.
Oh, yes. I was muted. So same options again. I would... How does flirting work in terms of kind of the setting? Is it like...
Yeah, perfect. I can explain that. So you'll note on your sheet there's a flirting and romance. Flirting is very much more about at the lowest levels, it's the harmless thing you do at court with people you don't know.
Mhm.
It's taking mingling to the next step kind of thing, with some kind of sexual undertone. At the highest level, it's lustful, um, but there's romance on there as well, and romance is more for like courting a lady, like trying to get married,
Okay.
going through the act of a long-term relationship. Um, it's possible to get stuck with a passion eventually if you start to court somebody, but flirting doesn't trigger that automatically.
Okay. But it's not scandalous to do
Not,
that
not,
openly.
no, not at all. It's not dishonorable at all to do it openly. It would be if you like
Mm.
left with another noble lady and like to the chambers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, is is Lady Lila married?
She
That I can
is.
tell.
Yeah. So she looks to be on Jareth's arm, effectively.
Oh, she's the wife. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Right.
It'd be
Yeah, not gonna.
hilarious,
Nope.
though. I think our condition, like when you go to roll flirt this time, I think it'd be hilarious if a fumble indicated that you didn't recognize that.
It is funny.
Yeah.
Well then, could I? I wonder if this would work as flirtation, to simply just kind of try to impress her, and by which way trying to gain favor with Sir Jareth as well, or would that just not work at all?
Oh, well, flirting. So if you're aiming to use the flirt action, it would be directly interacting with her. You could maybe ask, like, you would start with a flirting roll and ask her to dance, which wouldn't be scandalous, right? It'd be setting.
Yeah, but I'm trying. Yeah, I'm mainly hoping to appeal to Sir Jareth rather than her.
Oh,
Just
okay.
just trying to vary the approach a bit.
Okay, gotcha.
Would that work?
So you're thinking more like an intrigue type action then, more like.
Sure, we can do that too.
Yeah. If you're looking to impress the host, one thing you can do is you can make a indulgent or a temperate roll, and so either you're choosing to feast or you're choosing not to feast.
Okay.
Either or that can impress the host as like, hey, look at them eating all my food and being a great guest, or hey, look at them leaving food for others and being selfless, right?
I'll do a temperate roll.
Although I posted so cold meat slices and ginger sauce, lampreys and
There's a
hot
whole
sauce.
menu.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was three course meal. I wish I had my macros up. I'll have to get that going for next time. Okay.
Yeah, I'll do a temperate roll. Okay. It's my. Oh, okay. Yeah. Just.
Yeah.
It's in those personality things, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Bam.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Let me just read you the
Super
action.
temperate. Yeah.
Indulge. More ale, more mutton, more I say. Characters who drink and eat access this round, or who encourage others to do so, may earn the esteem of their host. Roll your choice of temperate or indulgent. In the former case, you are making sure everyone else has enough to eat. Eat and drink through your own self-denial. On a success, gain a check on the relevant trait. If you fumble temperate or fail indulgent, you haven't overindulged on drink and run the risk of public drunkenness. So I think in this case, it doesn't have a critical condition, but I think your goal was to impress the host. So I think
Yes.
I think he is impressed. And I think in this case, like, he whispers to Leela, and Leela comes over, and she says, "Sir Callistus, was it?"
Chelistis, at your service, my lady.
I just wanted to say that your celebration, what you bring here, is a breath of fresh air. many of the knights have been struggling with, well, the turmoil and the bad news from the shore. It truly is nice to see someone that is looking after others rather than themselves, and ensuring that, ensuring that everyone has a full belly and can forget about war until we must go back to it. So, on behalf of Sir Jareth and myself, I would like to say thank you.
My lady, nothing fills my heart and my stomach like the laughter of my comrades. Your thanks is appreciated, but not necessary. And if there's anything else I may do to bring more joy to your table, you may always ask.
She smiles at that. You can add, so for this action, I'll give you a +1 to geniality for the critical.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
you get to tick temperate as well.
Okay. Oh, what are those ticks for? It just when I succeed, I make a check.
That's a good
Okay.
question. So in have you ever played Call of Cthulhu?
Yeah.
Okay, it's very similar.
Oh, I see.
Very
I
similar to
see.
that. So you can actually earn chances at free skills and free traits, like increasing at the end of the year. You
Mhm.
can, if you critical or you get a success at a key time, such as like right now at the feast, you can get a tick on something. At the end of the year, you can check all your ticks and see if you can test against them. If you roll
Got it.
higher than, so for temperate, for example, at the end of the year, you'll roll temperate. If you get a 14 or above, you fail, and that's a good thing, and that allows you to go up by 1. If you succeed, you just don't get anything for it. So
Got it.
it makes it, when you get ticks at really low skills, it makes it almost a guarantee that it goes up. And when you get ticks at really high skills, it makes it very hard for it to go up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that is your action. So your geniality total now is what, 6?
3. What, 6? Really?
Well, you had 2.
Yeah, 2 last round
2,
and 1
5.
this round, right?
Well, you got 2 free just from being above the salt. Last round, you get 2
Oh,
this round,
right.
and then
Got it.
So
Okay.
5 total. 5 total is what you got.
Got it. Okay. I see. Okay.
5 geniality in round 2. Okay. So on to Sir Halberth for your second round.
Nice. So my option is still a bit the same, but if I don't pick a card, I get to choose either like game, indulgence, flirt, or gossip.
Gaming, flirt, indulge, or gossip would be the other options.
Can I gossip with Sir Callistus? Because he looked like he have things together and already have a bit of the favor. So I wonder if because I'm a mercenary, it'd be easier like to try to associate with him and try to drive on from his success if it's possible. So I would like be the guy that just like find a reason to go talk to him.
Right. So you're gonna spend your action trying to talk to Sir Callistus, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, if I can.
Yeah, I can give you that. Why don't you? You're still. Your geniality is what? 2, I think you have right now. That's what we listed.
I have 3.
Great. So your geniality is 3. Then you have. What's your courtesy skill at?
My courtesy is at 10.
10. Perfect. So you're gonna roll courtesy. You get to add the +5 because you're still impassioned by honor, and +3 to that. So modifier is 7. Wait, 8. Your modifier is 8.
So 8 to courtesy.
Yeah. Oh, bad luck.
It was not bad. But it fit. I think it fit the setting.
Absolutely. So I think we'll let you two. I think it'd be interesting to have the two of you guys play this out. But I think what it looks like is Sir Halberth is kind of moved past the regular guests, closer to the high table, and approached Callistus in a way where it's almost like, I think it's obvious as to your intent. Your intent is to
Yeah, exactly.
find your way in. So I'll let why don't you approach Callistus in roleplay here, and we'll let the two of you interact for a second.
Yeah, I would try. I would be like kind of showing off that I'm starting to get a bit nervous because I don't know. I only knew one people that I introduced, and you can see I'm nervous. So I'm doing like a little tap on him without being tortuous and modest. So I'm just lifting up. He can see me nervous, and I'm trying to not sitting near him, but making him get up off his seat so I can talk to him.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So how does Callistus respond to this?
I think since I'm pretending to be modest and temperate and everything, I would when he comes, I would just yes, have more food, enjoy, and try to just not quite brush him off, but treat him like everyone else, and because I'm just trying to get everybody else to drink and dance. I would just like shove a drink in your face and pat on your back, and then move you to another guy next to me that's drinking merrymaking.
I will only like take a few sip and just munch a little, but try to talk to you more, like make it look like you know me to the other people. Like, be Sir Callistus, I heard great story from you, and still tap your shoulder.
Oh yes, it's all blown way out of proportion, and I'm sure that's
I will also try to sell you off, like tell you you're great and you're a great knight, but come off like weird.
Okay. Do I have to roleplay that it didn't work?
I don't know if you have to. I think what could be interesting is, so one of the funnest things about this game that I should probably show off is when you're like, how would my character interact with this?
Mm-hmm.
One of the coolest things about this game is testing two traits against each other, specifically a pairing. So would this be like maybe trusting versus suspicious, or generous versus whatever it's paired against? What do you think would make the most sense here?
What was the other suggestion you had?
I think I'm pretty much selfish in this because I'm trying to, but I don't know, and he's kind of generous and trying to just make me go away a bit.
Yeah, so I think for Callistus, it could be like generous versus selfish for you, because it's like this guy is really testing my patience, or it could be something like trusting versus suspicious, like what's he up to,
Okay.
You could take it like if he's getting on your nerves or offending you in a way, it could be modest versus proud.
Okay.
Merciful versus cruel, if you want to be easy on him.
I'll test generous.
Yeah.
Pretty generous.
Okay. And then you want to test that against selfish. So you roll them both. So you failed generous. Let's see if you failed selfish.
Okay.
You failed them both. So that's not necessarily one way or the other. I'm going to suggest that you're trying to be generous, but maybe your intent is to like kind of spread the wealth, be kind, make sure everyone's having a good time, and he's trying to keep your ear, right? Trying to keep
right. Yeah.
So you're getting maybe a little bit impatient with him, but not so much that you're outright rude or anything.
Yeah, I think I'll indulge him for a little bit, but after a while, if he doesn't get the hint, I'll just kind of politely ignore him.
Yeah,
yes, but just
I totally lost my composure and fell my role. So I'm just keep talking, trying to get some gossip, but going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's gonna just amount to the one. It's gonna amount to the one geniality for Halberth. So you're gonna close the. You're gonna close it with 4 geniality, right? As we come to a close on the feast.
Eh, Exactly. I'm gonna thank you, Sir Calicis, for your time, and I'm gonna go back to my seat.
So your glory is gonna be 40. For Callistus, yours is gonna be 50. So it's just
Okay.
times 10.
I'm still proud of what I did. I'm like in my head. I'm like, well, I did good.
Yeah, right. Let me just check something. I might be wrong on that. I just want to check and see if geniality is worth 10 or 20 per. I'll know in a second. Give me a second. Sorry, just give me a sec here, guys. So.
Mm-hmm.
This is something I believe it to be 10, but something in my gut saying is it worth more than that? Equal to their geniality score multiplied by 10. Okay, no, I was right. I was right originally. Okay, so that's your glory for this. The feast actually ends, and just as Sir Jareth is about to speak, there's a loud horn blowing in the distance, and it blows again.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Is that an alarm?
Why don't you make a maybe like a battle roll for this one?
Okay.
Both of you can test this.
Battle. Where's battle?
It's over in your combat skills.
Battle. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Our battle skill guy did not.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine. I think you just wonder if it's surely anything. Maybe you take it for a hunting horn, Callistus, since they do a lot of hunting out here. Or Halberth, really.
Yeah.
Callistus, though, you recognize that horn. It sounds like the 2 calls. You would guess that is some kind of warning for a raiding.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I'll confirm that with Sir Avery. My lord, does that sound like a war horn to you?
It sure did. Everyone, ready your swords. He turns to one of his knights, Catford. Actually, he says, take my sisters, bring them somewhere safe." With that, Avery starts to rally the local knights, and I'll give you guys a second to react to it, both. So, Halberth, your failure just means that you're a little late to the party. You didn't fumble or anything, right? So, you're just a little late to recognize the danger here.
Yeah. I was confused, and I act a little bit confused, but I pick it up on it because I was clearly distracted from my fumble earlier.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
But I'm probably I will follow Sir Conrad.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just pull up something here. Switch the music. It's like this really soft, tranquil music, and it's killing my vibe for battle here.
Oh, there's music. I need to turn it up.
No, you won't hear it. It's only in the stream. I will. I'll get.
Oh,
it.
okay.
I'll get it cut over eventually. I have to figure out how to work music through Discord these days. That I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be easy, but not anymore. Second. Okay. So I think I just need to know. So the room erupts into panic, right? They're doing their best to keep things organized. Callistus and Halberth, what do the two of you want to do at this point? What is your immediate action or instinct here?
I'll be go on alert as soon as he said. As soon as Avery said to go out with the sword, I'll comply immediately.
Okay. Are you trying to tag along with them as they move civilians and stuff around, or do you want to go get a better look, like at what's going on?
So are they're evacuating, right?
They seem to be evacuating the feast hall and moving into one
Yeah,
of the back halls. Most of them.
I'll go outside to see what the threat is.
Halberth, what do you want to do?
I would go outside too to see what's going on. I think I would like to escort people out, but since I'm new to the place, I think I'll go outside too.
All right. So, just a note on that battle test, Amber. I think you would have succeeded because you didn't add your +5 for honor, did you?
Yeah, I didn't add my +5.
Yeah, that would have been a success, but that's okay. We'll just say you're a little late to the party. Just a reminder, this is the same scene, so you still get that honor and passion if you need it.
It's a strong alcohol.
Right? Exactly. So why don't you both test awareness for me as you go outside? It's a skill.
Okay.
Okay.
Awareness.
Do we add anything to awareness or?
You do have honor +5, right? So you always get that right now.
I'm gonna reroll and add it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So both of you see, like, the way the manor is set up. There's the manor proper, which is almost like a fortified manor at this point. But then there's like the like miniature village or hamlet nearby. The smoke seems to be smoke and the sound of chaos, kind of screams and cries and yells and shouts coming from that hamlet. So it looks like that's probably the source of the raid right now.
Okay. Can I see who's attacking?
Not from this distance.
Okay.
Could I ask the person, Sir Dynan, if he's still there? Could I be able to ask him to look at that direction?
Who are you asking?
Dynan.
The night time the truth earlier. Yeah.
So you're asking to see if he can see it better than you, kind of thing. Is that the idea, or if he can go up and take a closer look?
I'm trying to make him tag along.
Oh yeah, he'll come. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And my guess would be to go to see in that direction.
Do you? So I'm assuming you three are starting in that direction. Is that also what you want to do, Z? Or?
Yep.
Okay. So.
Going towards danger, basically.
For sure. So the question I have for you here is, let me just get the right army so I don't kill you guys on accident.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. The Saxons
Well, that's
are
a new
brutal.
character.
There's like, we made that mistake in the game. We were like, oh man, these Saxons are just brutal. They're slaying us. And then we're like, we saw in the book, there's like Saxon army for beginning games. We're like, oh, oops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So okay. So I spoiled something for you, but you're as you move in, it's very clear and very quickly. I think the three of you spot that this is in fact Saxons that you're dealing with here. Which is
not
strange.
a huge spoiler.
Yeah. Right. And just a note, you guys are in Huntland County on this map, which is not quite near the coast, so it's strange that they would come this deep right now. I mean, not completely out of the ordinary, but you find it odd for sure.
But there must be a reason why they're here.
So with that, why don't you both? First off, I need to know whether you intend to go via horse or if you're going on foot.
Horse.
I don't know if I have a horse. If
You
I
do.
have one,
You do.
I would go on horse.
Okay. Perfect. So, with that in mind, please both test me your battle if you're impassioned. So, Ember, you're impassioned, so remember your +5.
Okay. Battle, right?
Yeah.
Battle.
All right.
Okay.
So Ember, you can tick that. The battle because it's significant to this, and I'll explain to you what that gives you in a second.
Perfect.
Just gonna
I'd be good to bring Sir Dylan along then.
Yeah, so he'll be along as well. So I got to see what he's got for a skill right now. Okay, he's quite skilled in battle apparently. So he succeeds it well. So we're gonna focus on the PCs here, starting with Halberth. You can make you're gonna make a slightly different roll on this. Do you intend to like charge in valorously, or are you gonna be more cautious in your approach?
I heard bad story from a past battle that charging without reconnaissance is sometimes bad. So I think I would try to figure out what's going on. Like see if they're civilian or what's the chaos is doing at that particular spot. Like trying to assess the situation.
So
and see if
your goal is to be a little bit more sort of aware of your situation, more cautious, let's say, more.
Yeah, without giving my position like that we
more prudent.
that was perfectly there by the attacker. Yeah.
So if you're going the prudent route, you can just give me a D20 roll as you head into like the smoke-filled village to get a better look. And then I will modify something for you as you go.
Perfect. So here I go.
A 10.
Just enough. No.
Okay, and then Z, I'm gonna get you to do the same thing. You can give me a D20. Do you intend to go in recklessly, or do you intend to go more prudently?
I'll be somewhat cautious.
Okay. D20 as well.
Mm-hmm.
And what was his name? Sir Dinan? Dinan? Yeah. Sir Dinan is, well, let's see what his valorous or his reckless skill is. He's only got a reckless of 1, so he's incredibly prudent. So he is also
Wow. Okay.
he is also gonna go and he succeeds. So he's gonna go cautiously as well. He's got 8. So the three of you, are you staying together or are you fanning out?
I would try to stay together if it's all right.
Sure.
Yeah, stay together. Okay.
Yep.
So you end up face to face with basically as you kind of ride through the town, you can see that there's you see like a bloodied corpse of one of the commoners.
Those blasted Saxon.
Right. So you see what like they're lighting up all the every structure they can find. They're lighting on fire. They seem to be pillaging what they can. They're just here to cause misery and chaos from the likes of it. You come across a group of three Saxons. One looks to be a warrior wearing finer clothing. The other two are javelineers, and we're going to start combat there if you'd like.
Mhm.
So I'm not gonna tell you yet where the javelineers. I'm gonna test to see where the javelineers are going to fire their javelins. But the three of you have to choose your targets. So
So,
who do you like to attack here?
how many people are we up against?
Three, two javelineers and
Okay.
one wealthy warrior.
I'll go for the wealthy warrior.
I would go for one of the javelin.
Okay. And I think so. You'll take javelin 1, and I think Sir Dinin will take javelin 2. So why don't we? I'm just gonna roll to see where the javelineers are positioning their stuff, because they might not even fire a javelin back at you. 2. Okay. So, Halberth, you're taking two javelins at you. Callistus, you're just fending off against the wealthy warrior who's gonna try to like attack you as you attack him. And
Mhm.
he's not splitting his action. So we'll start there. Halberth, you can you're gonna take a javelin before you can get close, right? So let's
Yeah.
just see what that looks like.
In my head, I'm like, I'm gonna dodge these, and I see him throwing at me.
Javelin.
Do a matrix dodge on horseback.
Against.
Like, I hope it doesn't hit my horse.
Against. Oh, well, neither critted. That's the important part.
Yeah.
You take. Javelins are, unless they crit, they're usually not that dangerous. You take 10 damage. We're gonna hold off on that for. Actually, yeah, you'll take 10 damage, but you have 8 armor, so you just take 2. You take 2 wounds. The javelin sticks just enough to draw blood, but not enough to stay lodged in you.
I'm lucky. How do I subtract my points?
Sorry, what was that?
On the sheet, how do I add the damage?
Oh yeah, you go to interesting current hit points. I think current hit points you'd write like a 26 in here, so you're tracking like.
Okay.
I think that's
Okay, nice. Thanks.
Yep. It's been a while. I don't actually use the sheets too much, so my players do. So that makes sense. So and then I'll test Sir Dinin to see what he got hit with. 8. So yeah, he's able to ride off without injury. Now I think we go to. Why don't we start with Callistus? So Callistus, you're going to be doing a contested roll against him. Are you?
Mhm.
You let me see what the wealthy warrior is wearing or using a 10. If he rolls a 10 or under, this will be a two-handed weapon. If he rolls a 10 or 11 or over, it's a great spear, which is bad for you. Great spear.
Okay.
So great spear, all it does
Ouch.
is it negates your bonus that you'd have for being on cavalry. So
Okay.
so you can still make your attack. You just don't get the bonus for being mounted.
Okay, I didn't know what the bonus was anyway.
Yeah.
What would have been the bonus? Just
Plus
out of
5.
curiosity.
Plus 5.
To the roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
For fighting.
That would have helped.
For fighting because these Saxons are not on horse, right? So.
Yeah.
Most aren't.
Oh, okay. So what am I rolling?
So you can impassion yourself if it's super important for you to succeed here. Otherwise, you're just rolling flat your weapon to attack them.
Impassion, I can use hate Saxons?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. But is it risk of failing?
If you fumble, yes, you can take a -5 to the roll if you fumble.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
To your rolls on for the.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Oh, and if it's that low,
So,
the risk is much less. You'll see on the. Oh no, I don't have it on this one. Never mind. Ignore me. So you get a +5 bonus.
Cool. And
because that's under 10 too.
Am I rolling?
Tick hate Saxons.
Oh, cool. Am I rolling sword, lance, horsemanship, or something?
Your choice. What are you attacking?
Can I do horsemanship? I mean, because I'm riding.
If you want to do if you want to do a charge, it will be lance. If you're charging with a spear, then you can apply your horse damage. Otherwise, it's whatever weapon you're using.
So. All right, I'll do lance then.
Don't forget
5 bonus.
Oh, look at that!
Oh, damn! That's a dead Saxon right there.
All right, so click your horse damage.
Like this. No mod.
Okay, 19 times 2 is what you just did for damage. So you can see how criticals are very dangerous here. 38. Actually, he does get to contest a little bit. He gets to roll his great spear. So I shouldn't resolve this till I roll for him. So he was a wealthy. Where is that? Wealthy warrior is what I said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you rolled a 14. Okay. Wealthy warrior, great spear of 15.
Oh, we were rolling the opponents. Let's see.
Well, they roll against you if they're melee and you're going melee. So I'll explain that in a second.
Cool.
So he succeeds but doesn't crit. All that does is tell me something specific, which is not important. So his success is considered a partial success, which means if he had a shield, which he doesn't, he could apply the shield to his armor because he partially succeeded. Your success is a success, and it wasn't a tie, so weapons don't break or anything like that. You just actually your lance will break because you rolled a 19 on your damage, and that's an odd number. So your lance will break, but basically you just drive it right through him. He's dead in one hit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Marvelous strike.
He just took 31 damage in a single hit.
Damn.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, and so down goes that guy.
That teach him.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Halberth. Now you get to ride down this weaponless javelineer at this point.
Yeah, I'm really angry at him because he threw me 2 javelin. Should I take it on with my sword?
Yeah, so you can hit the. Are you hitting the guy that hit you or tried? Yeah, that hit you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you can go ahead and test your sword. Remember to add a +5 because you're mounted, and then +5 because you're still impassioned as well. So I guess +10 total.
Nice.
All right. You're going to deal, there's your damage on your sheet. You're not going to apply your horse damage. It's just your base damage because you're using a sword. So go ahead and make your damage roll, and then we times it by 2 because of the critical.
It was plus 2.
No, you're gonna roll it, and then we times it by 2.
Okay.
So you just go to where is it on the sheet? There's the damage button right beneath your app under attributes, and you just want to click that button.
I'm focused on. I see the ore sheet, and there's damage there, but that's not the one I'm searching.
It's right under attribute, I think.
Okay.
It should be.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's automatic.
Thanks. And I don't have to add anything.
No,
on it.
we'll just multiply whatever you roll by 2. Okay, so 28 damage.
Nice.
It's
We're kicking ass.
pretty.
Yeah.
2 criticals is a really good spot to be.
Yeah.
So 4 times 2.
You don't mess with the knight from Toulouse.
And he doesn't get to apply anything to that. He has. Let me see what his health would be here. Healing rate, total hit points. Yeah, he's down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Sir Dinin is gonna make his roll. I gotta figure out what his let's say his lance skill. He was a combatant, right?
Yeah.
So 1d20 first, 1d20 for. So 1d20 versus 1d20 plus. Does he have a bonus? Yeah, he's mounted. Plus 5. Oh, that plus 5 saved him.
Yeah.
So he got a success, but it's just a standard one. I think he's going to have a 5d6 as well. Damage. Does 11 damage. So the outcome of this is basically you've managed to drive into this group. You cut down the wealthy Saxon. You take out one of the Javelineers. The other Javelineer is cut deep and begins to run. I don't want to control the NPC too much, like the Sir Dinin. Why don't you two decide what you might do here? You can hear other knights beginning to ride into the area and attack.
I'll continue to attack others. I mean, this one is already. We defeated all of them, right?
Well,
This little group.
there's the fleeing Javelineer. He's still alive. If you want to run him down.
Should we capture him, or if it's too dangerous for that? Because
I think it's a good idea, but I just think it's more important to go to where other places where they're, being threatened, drive them
I
off.
think you're right.
Yep.
I probably got time for like one more
Sure.
round, if that's okay with you guys.
Yep.
So as you drive in further, the conditions are going to get more dangerous, right? So now you're going to be rolling a d6 and adding 14 to it.
Adding what to it?
14. So rather than a d20, you're rolling against more dangerous opponents is probably the idea.
D14 plus 6?
No, d6 plus 14.
D6 plus. Okay, got it.
If you don't know how to do that with the mechanics, you can just roll a d6 and then we'll add 14 after. 18. And 5. So 5 plus 14 is 19. So The two you ride on, I think Sir Didon's gonna split from you to go chase down that Javelineer that was getting away, and kill him, leaving you with two opponents. So for Sir Callistus, as the two of you close in, Sir Callistus, you end up face to face with a Saxon wearing a horse skull on his helm. Like his helm is made of a horse skull. And then for Halberth, you end up against a warrior in a blue Alberth. I'll get it right one day. Warrior in blue cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
So with these two, do you intend to attack the person in front of you, or do you want to switch it up at all? Like, how do you want to approach this?
How are they armed?
That's a good question because they can be armed two different ways. I'm just testing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So the horse skull wearing warrior has a great spear, and
Damn.
the warrior in blue cloak has a two-handed weapon.
Okay. And they're all on foot, right?
Yeah, correct.
I'll ride at the one that was confronting me, I guess. This cowboy.
Okay. What do you
Maybe
want to
can
do? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's all right. Can I dismount from my horse and I'm gonna challenge the guy with the two-handed weapon?
Oh, you're gonna do? I guess you're impassioned with honor. That makes sense. You may absolutely do that. Why don't you tick Valorous?
Oh, nice.
I like it.
Do I add my passion to it?
Oh, you don't have to test it. You're just getting a free tick on Valorous.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start with round one with Callistus and the horse skull wearing warrior.
Mm-hmm.
So the bad news is you don't get your bonus. The good news is he's not as good with a spear as he is with a two-handed weapon. So
Cool.
yeah.
Since my lance is broken, I'm drawing my sword and charging at him.
All right, and you can apply your.
There's...
I'll allow you to still be impassioned if you'd like.
Okay. So 5 mods. Success.
Nice.
Okay, so the only danger here is if he gets a higher success than you, yours turns into a partial success, which isn't good. But he fails. Just barely fails, but he fails.
How, do you compare? What's a higher success?
Yeah. So
is it just a crit or?
It's kind of if you're familiar with like the game Price is Right or something like that. It's like the best thing you can do is the closest you get to your number, the higher number wins in the comparison.
Got
as
it.
long as neither of you are failing your skill check. So if you both are, if you're doing a contested roll and he gets a 14, you get a 1, he's done better than you because his number is higher than you. But if he got if he got a 17 and that's higher than his skill, then he fails, so it doesn't matter.
But let's say if I crit at 5, it still beats his success at 15, for example.
Yeah, and a crit's always a crit. So a crit, just triggers its own special activity. Crits are usually weapon breaks, with the exception of swords. Swords don't break from a crit.
Yeah,
unless it's another sword, then it's like a tie. It's a very interesting mechanic the way it works.
Cool.
So you are successful, and he does not. He doesn't have a shield anyways, but he wouldn't be able to apply it if he did. So you just get to do straight damage to him.
Nice. Is it horse damage or normal damage?
It is normal damage with your sword. So.
Okay. Bam.
Nice. Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So he takes 23 minus his armor. So he takes 15 damage. Damage on horse skull. Wearing warrior. All right. So he definitely reels with that, and you can see, like he's in his armor. You can see like a bit of blood pooling in the area that you just hit him. He grunts and says something in Saxon. All right, we're gonna go over to the duel here. So you fend off against the warrior in blue cloak.
Mhm.
I would definitely try to taunt him so I can get an opportunity to attack on him.
Yeah, so you're gonna try to maybe like do like a feint. Is that kind of the idea, or?
Yeah, like a feint, and you try to insult him because I don't like Saxon.
Oh,
So
okay. You're gonna try to incite him here.
yeah,
Sure. Why don't you give me? What would that be? Probably gonna be one of those skills you're not great at. I think I will get you to test your intrigue to try and incite him. You can add your 5 to honor. Keep in mind, and then
I don't know if it's going to help. Yeah,
he'll test that versus his recklessness.
but truth, I try heraldry. I don't know if I could apply it.
Mm, I'm thinking about that. Yeah, I don't think so.
No, well, I will go with entry.
Yeah.
I'll test my luck because I just want to provoke him or create a situation so that we can
You know
attack each
what?
other.
Yeah. Why don't you make a? You're impassioned with honor, though, right?
Yeah,
I'll allow you to make like a deceit roll to try to pull this off.
yeah, because I'm trying to create like a duel between him and me.
Yeah, and then you're trying to sort of like provoke him forward, right? In a
Yeah,
manipulative way, right? It's kind of what I'm getting. So, um, so actually, I'll give it to you this way. You can test your raw dex against him if you want, and if you succeed, well, you're trying to taunt him though. You're not trying to feint necessarily. You're trying
yeah.
to taunt. Um,
I wanted to that we have like a challenge, like a duel.
yeah. Well, that's happening. It's clearly a duel at this point.
Yeah,
But if you're trying to incite him, like make him not think clearly, if you're trying to like sort of play with him a little bit, I think
yeah,
that's more.
exactly.
I think you're testing deceit to do that.
So it would be a entry +5.
Yeah, you can do that. That'll also work. All right, and that kind of makes sense. Like, um,
Yeah,
he
but
he's he's ready to duel you, but the attempt to rile him up doesn't work. If that makes sense.
yeah, I'm from Aquitaine. We're differently from different culture.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and actually cut back to uh so your duel's just about to get underway. Um Actually no, we're gonna continue your duel. I think it's interesting. Why don't you go
Yep.
ahead and test your attack here? I do have to wrap this up fairly quick.
I will try that. I'd be like you, strong though. So I roll for damage.
Please. Oh no, your attack. You haven't made your attack
Oh
yet.
shit!
Yeah.
Forget that.
And this
I
will be
forget this.
it'll be contested by his two-handed weapon.
Yeah, but
Remember, you're impassioned by honor.
oh, that's true. Yes. So attack him with my sword.
Okay, so it will hit if you score higher than him. Bad news is he might get you here. So we're gonna see what happens because, oh wow, so lucky. So you succeed. You got the higher number than he did.
I
If
was
he
really lucky.
Yeah, if he got the higher number there, you would have taken damage for sure. So, in this case, he with his two-handed weapon swings wildly at you, and you're able to kind of block it with your shield and swing at him. Why don't you go ahead and give me? Why don't you? Would you like to take the 20 damage? Actually,
I think it'd be fair if I reroll the damage.
yeah, that's fair.
I'd be like so nervous after that hit on the shield.
So what you know about this guy? He's got more armor. He's wearing a helm. He's got a Saxon helm on, and he's got chainmail on. Which is better armor than you've got, by the way. So
Yeah.
so he kind of reels a bit, reclaims himself, and then we're gonna go back to places. Next round of you versus
Skullboy.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll swing, like, circle around on horseback and make another pass.
Okay.
Do I still have the bonus?
You don't get a mounted one against his great spear, but you still have you're still
No,
impassioned.
I mean the passion
Yep.
passion bonus.
Yeah, you're still impassioned.
Okay.
All right.
Oh wait, sorry, that was horsemanship. I keep thinking horsemanship for some reason. It's the same though, either way.
Okay. Yeah, we can take that
Yeah.
then. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So he is going to roll his 200 weapon plus 20. All right. You got another good strike.
So close.
Yeah, you guys are.
Damn it.
It's good though. I'd hate to kill you guys
Yeah.
both right in session 1. So, perfect. So 15 damage, and he's got what did it, 8. So 15 plus what did he have before? He took 15 damage, and then he gets minus 8. So he's up to 22 now, damage.
Mm-hmm.
Still standing, but he's definitely pretty wounded. In fact, I have to test.
Yeah.
I have to test Dex. He's okay. He's okay.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like in his chainmail when you hit him this time, he starts to reel a bit, but he managed to regain his feet before he falls. Bloodied, but brave. Something you've known about these Saxons is they don't yield very easy. They don't trust the ransom system, right?
I see.
Yeah, they are known as brave and dangerous fighters. So we're gonna go back to the duel here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm too gonna give my best on this one. I'm seeing Sir Kaitis winning his fight, and I want to win mine too to impress.
Got it? All right. Go ahead and make your attack roll, please.
Attack roll. Finger cross.
That is good.
Yeah.
And that is bad for him. So you hit again. Go ahead and give me another damage roll. You gave 3 to this guy. So warrior in blue cloak takes.
Kill him.
I think he's clearly stronger than me, but
So this is his total damage. So you're chipping away at him, right? His armor is making him very, very hard to kill. You're not
I'm
coming
hoping
down
that I'm hoping at the end we can gang up on him.
with. Okay, we're gonna go to Callistus again.
Mm-hmm. Third and hopefully final pass at the Skullboy.
Okay.
Mod 5.
That's good.
Good one. Mm-hmm.
And he only has an 11 in Great Spear. He fails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll damage for me.
Off with the. Oh, yeah, damage. Taking his head. Meh.
There's still a pretty good chance you're going to take his head here. 28. 28 will drop him, and you do so with a thick carve of the neck.
Nice. I'm going to continue writing, but I want to see if how Albert is, whether he's struggling or whether he looks like he didn't want intervention because
Yeah.
honorable duel and all that.
Yeah, and I'd be curious to see
I guess
if you recognize it as a duel. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
We'll test that in a second, though. I think
Mhm.
we'll give him one more round, so you guys are on the same round here. So
Yeah.
Albert, why don't you go ahead and do your thing?
Yeah, at this point, I'm sure I'm pretty focused on the duel because it's doing well, but I don't want to screw up.
Yeah.
I surely try to attack him.
Oh, battle though. You made the wrong roll.
Oh shit. That should do it.
It's even
Oh,
better.
nice.
Yeah.
I was
Nice.
inspired by the surrounding battle.
Yeah.
All right, so you hit. He gets a partial. It's not going to matter because he doesn't have a shield. So you get to roll your damage and double it. Give me your damage roll.
Damage roll.
So 28 damage,
Nice.
and he took 8 before. So 8 plus 20 minus 11.
That guy's tough.
Yeah, his armor is good. But that might. Ooh. He wouldn't have a 1, but he might have less than 13. I think he falls. He's very injured and he's bleeding.
Yeah.
Do you want to finish him off? I'll give you a free coup de grace, like you don't have to roll.
Yeah, be really cautious because.
Do it.
Yeah, and probably be sure if I let him go, he's gonna attack me. So as a warrior, I would try to win the duel and finish him off.
Perfect.
Do I roll for damage?
No
Right,
roll
like-
required. I think you just finish him if you want to finish him. He was real close to death. So
Yeah, like honorably, like I would put my sword to his throat, but for piercing it from up high and go down below.
perfect. Okay, so I do have to wrap up. I have some things I have to do. But
Yep.
what we're gonna do is give you guys some
Good time.
glory counting here. just
Yeah.
For the end. For starting with Z, for the horse skull wearing warrior, you got a 15 for glory for defeating him.
Sorry, how much?
15 glory, 1-5.
Okay.
And then you get 15 glory for the wealthy warrior.
Mm-hmm.
You also get a librum for the wealthy warrior.
Cool.
You're able to, so he ends up surviving, and he's ransomed off, and you get a librum out of that ransom.
Oh, nice.
Unfortunately, it's not your home to claim. So, and then for javelin, we have 8 glory for the javelineer, and the blue cloak warrior is worth 15 glory, and you can add a +10 for a duel to the death because he wasn't going to stop either if you were defeated.
Yeah.
And with that, we'll wrap up for the night. What did you guys think of Pendragon? Was this your first time playing?
Yep.
Yeah, it was
That's
my
interesting.
first. Yeah, it was really
Wait,
cool.
how much glory for the horse skull boy?
1-5.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it was interesting.
All right. Well, yeah. If you want to, you can stick around the server. I'm going to be organizing when I run more of this. You'll know about it.
Mhm.
And we can go
Great.
from there. Thanks for playing, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for hosting the game.
Yeah. Take care.
Yep. Bye, guys.